Have you ever complained that your day feels too long? Now imagine a place where one single day lasts longer than an entire year. Sounds impossible, right? But there's a planet like that. Its name is Venus. It's not far from Earth. In fact, Venus is Earth's neighbor in space, and almost the same size. Some even call it Earth's sister. But this sister is strange. Very strange. Let me take you on a journey into the mystery of Venus. You won't believe what you're about to hear. Let's start with something simple. A day is how long it takes a planet to turn around once. For example, Earth spins around once every 24 hours. That's why we have morning, afternoon, evening, and night. When the Earth turns, the sun moves across the sky. That's a full day. A year is how long it takes a planet to go all the way around the sun. On Earth, that's 365 days. So, one full spin equals 1 day. One trip around the sun equals 1 year. Simple, right? But now, let's look at Venus. Venus does not follow the rules. On Venus, one single day takes 243 Earth days. That means it spins very, very slowly. But that's not all. Venus goes around the sun faster than it spins. It takes only 225 Earth days to complete 1 year. Did you get that? Let's say you're standing on Venus. Before the sun rises and sets one time, the entire planet has already gone around the sun. 1 day is longer than a year. Let that sink in. Imagine if here on Earth, the sun didn't rise or set for 8 months. That's how it feels on Venus. Nobody knows for sure, but scientists have some ideas. 1. Venus might have been hit hard. A long time ago, when the planets were young, things in space were wild. Rocks, dust, and baby planets were crashing into each other all the time. Maybe something huge smashed into Venus. So big, it slowed Venus down. Maybe it even turned Venus in the opposite direction. Yes, that's right. Venus doesn't just spin slowly, it spins backwards. That's why the sun rises in the west on Venus and sets in the east. That's the opposite of Earth. So not only does Venus take forever to turn, it turns the wrong way. Strange, right? 2. Venus has a heavy atmosphere. Venus is covered in thick, choking air made of poisonous gases like carbon dioxide. The air is so heavy, it pushes hard against the planet's surface. Some scientists believe this thick air slows the planet down over time, like someone dragging their feet through mud. 3. The sun pulls on Venus. The sun doesn't just give heat and light. It also pulls with its gravity. Venus is very close to the sun. That strong pull might have messed with how Venus spins. Over millions of years, the sun's tug could have made Venus slow down and spin the wrong way. Let's imagine you could somehow land on Venus, though you'd be burned alive in seconds. But let's pretend you could survive. Here's what would happen. You arrive, you step out of your spaceship. The air is thick and yellow. You can't breathe it. The ground is dry and cracked. The heat is worse than any oven you've ever known. It's about 460 degrees Celsius. That's more than 850 degrees Fahrenheit. That's hot enough to melt lead. The sky is full of poisonous clouds. You don't see the sun yet. You wait. Days pass. Weeks pass. Still no sunrise. Finally, after 4 months, the sky starts to glow. The sun peeks out, but not from the east. It comes from the west. That's how slowly Venus spins. By the time the sun fully rises and sets again, 8 months have passed. Yes, 8 months for one sunrise to sunrise. That's 1 full day on Venus. Some scientists believe that long ago, Venus was not so different from Earth. It might have had water. It might have had clouds and blue skies. But then something happened. Carbon dioxide filled the air. The heat got trapped. The temperature rose higher and higher. The oceans boiled away. The planet turned into a burning hell. This is called a runaway greenhouse effect. Now, Venus is the hottest planet in the solar system, even hotter than Mercury, which is closer to the sun. So what happened to Venus is a warning to us on Earth. If we are not careful with pollution and greenhouse gases, Earth will become like Venus, deadly, dry, and impossible to live on. You might be thinking, okay, that's interesting, but what does Venus have to do with me? Here's why Venus matters. 1. It teaches us about other worlds. Every strange planet tells us more about how the universe works. Venus shows us that not all planets are like Earth. Some spin backwards. Some take forever to turn. Some are deadly. 2. It reminds us that Earth is special. Earth is just the right kind of day and night. Just the right distance from the sun. Just the right air to breathe. Venus helps us see how lucky we are. 3. It warns us about climate change. Venus used to be nicer, but greenhouse gases turned it into a monster. If we don't take care of our planet, we could face a future just as bad. Venus is like a strange dream, a place where the sun rises in the west. A single day takes almost a whole year. The air can melt metal, and no human can survive. It's a planet full of mystery, a place where time moves differently, a place where nature broke the rules and made something completely unique. So the next time you wake up and feel like your day is long, just be glad you're not on Venus, because there, one single day is longer than an entire year. Want to know more about the world you live in? Subscribe for more.